Hello, welcome to Laura's World. I'm Laura, and it is extremely foggy outside. About as foggy as the United States collective moral compass. Now, I would like to preface this video by saying when it comes to topics I'm well versed in, such as my stories, my novels, music, Sims, things that I have studied for years, I speak with an eloquence unmatched. However, when it comes to a topic that I'm not so clear on, I sputter. I speak with pause because I'm trying to understand the world around me a little better, and I'm trying to understand the experience that others have that I don't. This is an example of an opinion video. This is purely what my brain puts out by filtering the facts I'm presented with, other opinions I'm presented with, and I kind of make them into an amalgamation. And what am I talking about today? Trans rights. As a cisgendered woman, I am the last person on earth that should have an opinion on how trans people live their lives. I do feel it is my responsibility as a cisgendered woman to speak out in support of the transgender experience. If I can convey anything I've learned to just one other cisgendered person who felt or held a negative view on the trans community, if I can turn one person's opinion around, you see, that's why it's my job to speak up. When I first heard the term transgender, I had no idea what it meant. Outside of a textbook definition, if you take the words trans and gender, you can piece it together, but what it meant, what the community was, I had no idea. I heard about it on TV, I saw it in the news, I didn't understand it. Full disclosure, my first thought when I watched an interview of a male to female trans person on TV, I said, the hell does anyone want to be a woman for? We are riddled with society's burdens. We're the weaker, the fairer, we're paid less, we're valued less, we're stalked in the streets, we gotta worry about what's going on around us. I mean, I could almost understand why a woman would want to be a man. You get rid of these things, you get rid of these societal constructs, and all of a sudden you're the alpha, or some horse shit like that. You know, you don't have to worry about what it's going to be like walking to your car. You don't have to worry about if you're being cased in a shopping center, or if you're going to make it to your car. You know, I couldn't understand. The biggest thing that I didn't understand is why anybody would want to go through a cycle. You know, who the hell wants to have a period? I still don't want to have a period. It made no sense to me. And that right there, friends, is exactly why my very first thought, the very first thing that popped in my head, was fundamentally incorrect. The word want. Who would want to be a woman? Who would want to be a man? And that's lesson number one in the trans community. It's not what they want, it's what they are. Now you got all these people in government making statements saying, oh, trans men aren't men, trans women aren't women. You know what, if that's the way you want to live your life and that's what you want to believe, that's fine. But know that it's not your business, it's not your concern. How somebody else lives their life really has no bearing on yours. And that's the crux of the problem here, is that there are a lot of people with a lot of opinions, and most of them don't matter. My opinion doesn't matter. I'm sitting here telling you very clearly that I support trans rights. I support LGBTQ plus. Last I heard it was LGBTQIAA plus. Um, I try to keep up. I try to keep myself as educated as I can. And I know someone's gonna watch this and say, "Oh, this one's another idiot." Come on. And while I say that my opinion really, in the grand scheme of things, does not matter, I feel a personal responsibility to speak on this because you never think that someone in your life is going to be the example of whatever the topic is. Like, oh, I'm never going to be around someone who has a drug problem. I'm never going to be around someone who's gay. I'm never going to be around someone who's trans. And that's exactly what happened to me. Someone very near and dear to me, very good friend of mine, came out to a small group of friends and family and said that they were trans. The moment I saw the message in my inbox of the very carefully worded soliloquy, I read it, and then I read it again, and then I read it again. I think I read it about 90 times, no lie, because I didn't get it. I feel like I saw it coming, but I didn't see it coming. I had noticed, because I'm one of those really quiet observers, believe it or not. I have a big mouth, but I notice a lot of details around me, and I don't necessarily say anything, but I thought I had noticed, my friend's eyebrows are shaped. My friend's growing out their hair. My friend's nails look polished? The signs were there, but I had just ignored it because my friend and her wife had just had a baby. They just had a baby, and there was mom and dad. Now, my whole personal philosophy is you either love a person or you don't. And I had never even considered trans being in that equation because I had never personally experienced it. So my knee-jerk reaction after reading it over and over was to send out a message in support. I said, this is my friend. It doesn't matter what she wears. It doesn't matter what she calls herself. It doesn't matter what the hell is between her legs, which is none of my business. It is never anyone's concern. But the point is, my friend is my friend. That's it. So I sent off in a message, a reply. I don't know if it was a public reply. Well, it was a private group message. But yeah, I immediately just showed my support. Because what kind of an asshole would I be if on one hand I'm like, I love my friends no matter who they are, and then I have a friend who is coming into their true selves and I can't go by my whole thought here? No, that's called being a hypocrite, and that is something I am not. Now, while this was happening, my father was in aggressive treatment for stage 4 lung cancer. Not going to get into that. That'll be a story for another day. But the reason I bring that up is because at the time, the way things were, and my whole world was jumbled upside down, but my mother was, and still pretty much is, my best friend. And, our relationship blossomed when I moved out. Living together is not ideal. We're just two very different people, but when we weren't living together, she was my absolute best friend. And I wanted to call her. So the next working day, I texted her. I said, Ma, something happened. Nobody's hurt, nobody's in trouble or anything like that, but I want to talk to you. I want to get your opinion on this and, see how you feel about it. But I know you got a lot going on with Dad and everything. Can I call you? And she's like, yeah, go ahead, just call me. So I called her and I said, here, this is what's going on. My friend came out as a trans woman. She's still figuring out what her name is going to be at this point. I know it's in poor taste to ask too many questions, although I later found out that she said I could pretty much ask her anything anyway. um, I said I'm supportive of her, but I feel weird about it. And she said, "What do you mean you feel weird? What do you mean by weird?" I said, "I'm worried about her. I'm afraid. I'm scared that she's gonna get hurt. And me having known this person as their dead name for so many years, and now there's somebody else. No, and that's it. She even said it. It's not that there's somebody else. They're bringing out what was already there and something that's unfamiliar to you." And I said that, you know what, that's what I was thinking. She just put it out in words better than I did at the time because my brain was so I said to her, it's a lot to take in, but then again, I can't imagine what she's going through. And my mom was like, basically my sounding board for a few minutes and said, it's going to be an adjustment. But this is your friend's life. This is your friend, period. Now, my brain immediately went into learning mode. I said, okay, I'm going to research this. I'm going to find out as much as I can so I can be a good friend and not sound like an idiot and know what I'm talking about. And in my research and reading, I stumbled across a question that I feel a lot of people would have, specifically for a male to female. And that is, how can someone be a female if they don't menstruate? And I grappled with that question for a little while. I'm thinking to myself, okay, so makeup, nail polish, hair, clothing, jewelry, accessories, that's all fine and well. That's the made up, that's the costume part of it. But when it comes to being a woman, what defines a woman? And the age-old answer has always been, well, it's what's between her legs. But it's none of my business what's between someone else's legs, right? So then if I can't ask and I don't know, how do I know what one's gender is? You know what the answer is? The safest bet? What are your pronouns? And I know so many people have such disdain for asking this question. People in my circles, people close to me. I shouldn't have to ask that question. It should be apparent. Really? Androgyny is not a new thing. And I'm not calling my friend androgynous, absolutely not. I'm not calling all trans people androgynous either. I'm saying it's always been a thing, for lack of a better term. And so when I think of what defines a woman, and I'm saying, well, if we can't say what's between her legs, then, well, what is it? And if a trans woman can't menstruate, how is she a woman? The best argument to quell this question, think of a woman who went through menopause. Is she menstruating anymore? No. Does that make her any less of a woman? No. Think of a woman who unfortunately lost her reproductive organs due to illness. Does that make her any less of a woman? No. Another one brings up, oh, they can't be women because they can't carry children. What about women born cisgendered women who can't carry children? What about them? Does that make them any less of a woman? No. You see what I'm getting at here? Our whole binary construct is flawed. And it's not just for human beings. This shit happens in nature. There are fish. I mean, there was recently an article written about some deep sea fish that's born as a male and changes into a female at some point. I mean, this happens in the animal kingdom, just like homosexuality is in the animal kingdom. Hello, there's well-documented cases, if you really want to go there, on penguins. Male penguins holding fins, adopting abandoned eggs, and raising, I don't know, what are penguin babies called? Pups? Chicks or nestlings? So anyway, the point is, trans people are people. Trans women are women. Trans men are men. And trans rights are human rights. If you don't like trans people because you don't believe in it, or you don't approve of it, or there's something about the lifestyle, which it's not a thing, but people insist on the transgender lifestyle, the transgender agenda. It's always an agenda with some people. But no, what I'm getting at is, if you don't like it, if you don't approve of it, that's fine. You are entitled to your opinion. I'm not arguing with anyone here, but I am gonna say, if you don't like it, go over there, because it has no bearing on your life. It's called live and let live. And for all of these high and mighty super Christians, if you don't agree with live and let live, that means you agree with live and let die. And I don't think your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ would be very happy about that. I digress. Anyway, the point is, I feel, my opinion is, be a supportive voice. And if you can't be a supportive voice for whatever reason, then be a quiet one. It literally has nothing to do with you. It be a helping hand or stay out of the way. It's just my opinion. I cannot tell anyone what to do. But it's just, this is how I feel. And given some comments that I've seen on the internet, as well as what some other friends are going through right now, aside from my trans friend, it's just, people's ugliness is really coming to the forefront, and we need to do better as human beings. We're all on this spinning rock together. No one is better than anyone else. No one is more man or woman than anyone else. We're people. We're humans. Most of us. Just be nice. God, I'll say it again, live and let live. And that goes for a multitude of sociological issues that are going on. Just, if it has nothing to do with you, if it has nothing to do with your family, then let it go. If you need a friend, if you need support, if you need someone to talk to, I am here. There are no direct messages on YouTube, but I can connect via the comments. I do have other social media I don't exactly make public, but I am here, and I will find a way to be available if you need someone to talk to, or if you need support or a helping hand or an ear. Please take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Always reach out if you need the help. Hydrate, get plenty of fluids, put that SPF on your face. And you know what? I hope everyone, regardless of their attitudes, has a great day. Bye.